Hello, people. It is I, your girl Kayla G, here with another episode of Big Sister Sesh. What? So today we're gonna be talking about. It's kind of like a mix between people pleasing and also just like in general how you can't be everything to everyone. And like wanting to be there for everybody, but like just simply that's not realistic. So that's the topic for today. And to be honest with you, this is mostly just a reminder for myself because as I've started this new job, I have felt like I'm just having to like reorganize my priorities. I've gone from having a work from home job where I could meal prep and like do my laundry during the day and not have to do my hair and my makeup all the time to now I'm in person, having to do meal prepping in my free time now instead of having all that free time for friends and stuff like that. So it's mostly just a PSA for myself, but I'm sure if I'm going through it, other people are going through it. So let's talk about it. Maybe you've just started a new job, or like maybe some other major thing is taking a precedence. Maybe you just had a kid, or like maybe you're just trying to prioritize yourself a little bit more this year. So this one's for real. So yeah, like I was saying, my life looks a lot different than it did, and I'm trying to manage work and my personal life and my social life as well as like my podcast. So I don't know. I just feel like I can't keep up with everything, and I feel like I'm constantly just treading above water, and it's like it's a lot. So this is a message to me and people like me right now. So if you're someone like me who has this new life and you're just trying to learn how to balance it all, for me, what that looks like is I work all week. After work, I go to the gym and then I immediately go to sleep because like by the time I get back and I shower and everything, it's 8:30 and then I have an hour to fall asleep. So I need to be asleep by 9:30 to be able to wake up at 5 and get a full 7 8 hours. Which even then I'm not necessarily getting. So and when I wake up at 5, it's to do a little bit of self-development stuff. And then on the weekends is when I really have for my friends. I might see a friend once a week, but really it's going to be the weekends. And I don't want to I first of all can't dedicate my whole weekends to just catching up with people. One, I need to be there for myself. I need to let myself just having a relaxing night one night. Two, I need to have a productive day because I don't have any time to meal prep during the week at all. So during the weekend on Sunday, that's pretty much my meal prep, clean, laundry day. And that really leaves me with Saturday or Friday. One of those is going to be a chill night, and then one of those I can see friends. And it's been hard. It's been hard to see. I made a list for myself and I had a list of 8 people that I really wanted to see all the time. And I'm like, do I really want to see these people? And so this is kind of where we're going to start is like how to kind of manage those relationships. Which ones are like are you like keeping all these people around feel so you don't feel lonely, or what is it? How to manage those relationships, how to pick and choose. Um and yeah, the first note I have here is to let go of obligatory friendships. And I don't even know if that works there, but to me that means like people that probably aren't really like friends. They're just like people you feel obligated to keep up with almost. And I have a couple of those friends, and they're just people that like are really nice, and like we can have some good times, but at the end of the day I know that their life and their life path looks a lot different than mine. Not in a way that like it can't be it's in a way that it can't be simpatico. Like there are some things like I can't even really like I'm like we click but not enough that I'm like, oh, like that's my girl kind of thing. And they weren't necessarily obligatory before because when I had the time, like I was like, whatever, yeah, sure, let's hang out. But now that I have such a limited amount of time, I really just want to like trim the fat of my life. And like I need to make time for the friends that really are going to be there at the end of the day for me and that really get me and that when I hang out with them, it's absolutely refreshing for my soul. I just don't have I had the extra time then, and I just don't have it now. And a couple of those people are people that I really only saw when I was drinking, and they're unfortunately, sorry to them, are going to be the first ones to go because yeah, I am not drinking right now. I decided last night that I'm not going to drink at all this year. So if those friendships were based around that, then that sucks, but it is what it is. I'm not going to, I don't know. If that was what our relationship was, then I'm not going to go out of my way to try to hang out with you. Um, Especially if like when we do hang out and I'm sober, is that going to be weird? I don't know, but I'll give everyone a chance, but whatever. I'm rambling. The next thing I would recommend is after trimming the fat of the people that it's not like you need to get rid of them, but like prioritize the real ones. And then the next thing I would say is to just let people know how you're feeling because that's something that I've done this whole week. This whole week, I've reached out to probably 4 or 5 of the people that I do consider really good friends or like obviously want to continue a friendship with. And I've just been like, hey, I don't know if you're like, and it's probably just in my head because I worry, but I texted each of them individually and, was like basically, hey, I don't know how you're feeling, but like this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling super overwhelmed and I feel bad that I'm not making time for my friends as much as I used to. And I just want you to know I love you and I'm thinking about you. And my life is probably going to look different now, but it doesn't mean I care any bit less about you. Um, and I just need to like do me for a little bit because I'm really trying to haul ass in this career. So I've sent out a bunch of those messages, and I think like just don't let this crap pent up inside of you. Don't let it eat at you because it will eat at you. It will keep you up at night. It will give you anxiety. Just tell people how you feel. It is cool to express your feelings. And if you don't feel like you can express your feelings to those people, that's a red flag in itself. That's probably not somebody that you can be real with. So are you someone with like 8 or more best friends? Because I don't think so. That's kind of a red flag to me if like you can't be everything to everybody. And honestly, when I see someone who is never alone and like always has to be with somebody and bends over backwards for people, to me it means that they are distracting themselves from their own pain and the work that they need to be doing. So if you're someone who like I think these people know deep down, but like here's your little reality check. If you're using people as a distraction from yourself, guess what? No matter where you go, there you are. You are always going to run into yourself and those issues that you're facing. They might go away for a little bit. You might be able to distract yourself for a little while, but at the end of the day, when you're alone in your bed, you are going to be there with yourself and your problems. They're still going to be there. They're still going to be there no matter what. You can't get rid of them unless you work on them. So, not coming for you. That's just how it is. And I've overcome this myself. Still overcoming. Let's not be so brazen as to say we're overcome with them or that I have overcome them. Words are hard. If you're doing that, check yourself. And you don't need to get rid of all your friends, but you do need to start spending time alone and figuring that out because it's going to follow you forever. Maybe I should do a whole other episode on that, but just know it's not sustainable. I've done that, I've been there. The last thing I'll say is you don't need to base your worth on how much you do for people. That doesn't define how good you are or what kind of person you are necessarily or like anything. Friendship shouldn't be about what you do for people. It's how you make other people feel when you are around them. And if you're someone who you know that when you are genuinely with those people, even if it is far and few between, you are present with them, you are shooting the shit, laughing, like crying on the floor, laughing, or like maybe really crying because you can open up with people and, being genuine and real, and you can show up in your sweatpants or whatever you want, and they feel safe and you feel safe, and it's mwah, 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 we love each other in a platonic way. Um, if you know that you do provide that kind of friendship for someone, it doesn't matter if you can be there as much as you used to be or what. It just matters that you are a good person and a good friend. And not seeing them as much doesn't make you not a good person at myself. So don't base your worth on what you do for others. That's not what relationships are about. And if someone is expecting things from you, then they're not really that ain't really it either. In that same vein, my dad always used to say to me about his own mom, he would say, my mother was the most selfless woman I ever knew. And he spoke about it in such a way that it was really glorifying the act of selflessness. And I think that's something that women are taught to just like, oh no, I couldn't possibly be. I don't want to bother. I do make myself small. Let me like take up less space. Oh no, I'm fine. Um, that is not the vibe. That is not what it's about. It's okay to be selfish. It is okay to not put your other it's okay to not put your friends first all the time. Most of the time. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to do things just for you. It's okay to just because you have free time doesn't mean you need to give it to somebody else. It's okay to just sit down and absolutely be a crumb and watch a movie and cuddle with your pillows and eat something yummy and lay in bed, and that's fine. It is fine to do nothing. It is okay. You don't always need to be productive. You don't always need to just fill your time with people because you feel obligated or because you haven't seen them in a while. Time with yourself is just as important. Time with yourself is probably more important. And time to just be alone and like, even if it's not a productive, even if it's not like I'm working on my life, it's just I'm literally just laying and existing because I've had a long ass week and I'm tired or whatever the reason is. Even if there isn't a reason, it's okay to just be. You don't need to just you don't need to go to that party or make that plan just because you have the free time. And that's something else that I've been running into is like when people like I have these two friends that are really good friends that I feel comfortable saying this to, but like you might not. But when they text me, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" Like a part of me, the pang in me that's like feeling guilty, the people pleasing part is like, "Oh, don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them that you're just like having a night in." I'm like, oh, like let me like just tell a little lie and be like, oh, I'm doing something. But I'm like, no, these are your fucking best friends. Like, tell them that you're just, I'm exhausted and I'm chilling tonight. Like, don't really feel like hanging. Love you though. Like, they will get it. And every time I've said something to them, they've been so receptive to it. I don't know what it is in me that's like the little voice in my ear that's like, lie, tell them you're busy. They can't know that you're a human and need time to recoup. They can't know. Like, what? So silly. What I'm trying to get at there is like, this is a time to be selfish. If you are from the ages of 18 to like 35, this is your time to be selfish. This is your time to do things for yourself. Respectfully selfish, I should say. Don't be a dick, obviously. Like this is your time to build your life and do things for you and like do things for you. Do things for you, give back later. Apologize later. This is your time. And there's absolutely no glory in being selfless. There's absolutely nothing grand about giving so much of yourself that you wither away. Doing things for others to where you're neglecting yourself. There's nothing glorious about that. I'm sorry, Dad. That's not cool. And and like I remember like trying to emulate that because that's like that's what I thought that a good woman was. And as I grew up and realized that was some indoctrination ass shit, some patriarchal ass shit, I'm taking up space. I'm being selfish with my time. I'm being selfish with my just I'm just being selfish. And it's not even selfish. It's setting boundaries and boundaries are loving as my beautiful friend Amy always says. Boundaries are loving. Doing things for yourself is an act of love and self love. And boundaries are an act of love to others too, because when you allow people to disrespect you, you end up resenting them. If I told my friends, like, yeah, I'm free, come over, and they hung out and they stayed too long and I didn't get a good night's sleep, I would resent them. I would. And it would be my own fault, but I would resent them and it would cause dysfunction in our relationship. Anyway, I feel like this podcast was all over the place. However, I do hope you learned something. If you are a people pleaser or if you're trying to not be, just remember that it's not selfish to love yourself and do things for yourself. It's actually very loving for both parties involved. And also remember that having a million friends that you consider best friends that you do everything for isn't normal and it's not good. And you're probably trying to distract yourself from something inside, which I probably was doing because I was feeling pretty lonely and unfulfilled when I was doing that. So right now I'm feeling pretty fulfilled in this job. I'm really excited and happy about it. So it makes sense. And I'm like, okay, like I need to make some time for myself now. It makes sense, I guess. Did that make any sense? My brain, since this job though, has been like that exact motion. Just what? For those of you maybe just listening, I just made like a der face, like a what? But yeah, this was really short and quick. I do think there was maybe a couple good nuggets of advice in there though. So I stand by this. I stand by this episode. Have a beautiful day, night, week, weekend, life. Bye. Bye. Bye.